I was fortunate in a strange way. I used to. There was a place in Derry called St. Column's Hall, and that was a cinema in the 50s and 60s. And then when I was about 10, I used to clean it up for 2 shillings a night. And so that was kind of strange because I liked. So then when I made my own films, I always made sure the premiere got shown in St. Column's Hall because I kind of remember getting the 2 shillings a night, cleaning up everybody else's shit, and then like years later getting to see my own films there, which is quite nice. But I see I went to all of them. There was three in Derry at the time in the town: the Palace, the City, and the ABC. So we went a lot, but we didn't pay because we were first we hadn't got any money, and secondly we were 12 and 13, 14. So as I say, we would sneak in there. Sometimes people in there were quite good. The cinemas, they would let us in for nothing. They would just like, take pity in us, stand outside, embarrassing people by asking for money. We used to stand outside the cinema and say like, "Can we have 2 bob for pictures?" And poor people would give you 2 bob, and then we would go and spend it somewhere else. So we used to go into the cinema a lot. Like we left off in Derry, no cinemas because of the various bombing campaigns, and so many people wouldn't go into the town at night, and so couples wouldn't go in anymore, and so there was a real upsurge in Finnish and Swedish educational films, brackets, porn. And so when you're about 12, 13, your mates would pay money. One of us would save up and pay the money, and then he would go in, open the exit, and then we would come in and watch the film, and then you'd be surrounded by 300 heavy breathing men, you know. And that was sort of Derry cinema during the Troubles, you know. And I was terrible for going to. We wouldn't say cinema; we'd say the pictures. I was terrible. I loved going to, still do, going to the pictures on my own, you know. And I can remember going to pictures I can remember films that had to be when I was 4 and 5, but surely that couldn't have happened. Like, you know, as I said, Victor Mature, and The Robe, and Pillow Talk with Doris Day and Rock Hudson, which was actually, looking back, a pretty gay film, but we only say that now. At that time it was, we know what we know now. But so it was great to sitting in the dark, seeing the colour, you know, visiting America through cinema.